There's a detail in this case that the moment you hear it, you won't be able to unhear it. It's not the blood on the porch, though we'll get to that. It's not the masked figure tampering with the doorbell camera. It's not even the ransom notes that stopped communicating like someone flipped a switch. The detail that changes everything is this: not a single person who took Nancy Guthrie has ever proven she was alive. Not once. Not a photograph, not a voice recording, not a single word written in her hand, nothing. You've been told this is a kidnapping. Law enforcement investigated it as a kidnapping. The media covered it as a kidnapping. And yet, a former FBI agent and CIA officer just said publicly, and I want you to hear this carefully, she definitely does not believe this was a burglary gone wrong. But she also said something else, something nobody else has been willing to say out loud. She said she believes this crime happened because of something Savannah Guthrie did. I'm not going to tell you what that means yet, because to understand it, really understand it, you need to walk through the same evidence she walked through. You need to feel the same cold logic that led her to that conclusion. And then I'm going to show you what CNN's most decorated law enforcement analyst said on the record. A man who spent years running counterterrorism for the NYPD at the deputy commissioner level, who said this case may have been re-engineered, his word, into a kidnapping after something went terribly, irrevocably wrong. Two independent experts. Two different analytical frames, one conclusion that neither is saying directly. Nancy Guthrie may never have been kidnapped at all. Let's go. The timeline they didn't show you. Before we get into the theory, let me give you the timeline. Not the version that got repeated on every news show, no, the version that matters for what we're about to discuss. Nancy Guthrie is 84 years old. She is the mother of Savannah Guthrie, co-anchor of the Today Show on NBC. She lives in a rural property in the Catalina Foothills area just outside Tucson, Arizona. A quiet, secluded neighborhood, limited street-facing surveillance, sparse traffic at night. On January 31st, a Saturday, Nancy attended dinner with family. Her children dropped her home that evening. She was described by Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos as mentally sharp as a tack. Though she had limited mobility, required daily medication for a heart condition, and had a pacemaker. That pacemaker, hold on to it. Sometime in the overnight hours, crossing from January 31st into the early hours of February 1st, something happened at that house. At 1:47 in the morning, the doorbell camera went offline. Not a glitch, not a lost signal. The physical camera was removed from its mount. The figure in the later released footage, the masked individual, is seen on that porch covering the camera with vegetation before the disconnect. Prepared, methodical, they knew the camera was there and they knew they needed it gone. And even if the camera had stayed up, Nancy Guthrie didn't have an active recording subscription to the Nest service. Footage wasn't saving to the cloud in real time. The only reason the FBI could release any footage at all was because their private sector partners recovered fragments from residual data in back-end systems. Someone who scoped this property knew, or guessed, that 41 minutes after the camera went dark, Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker app